top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's over live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us is David Racey with us. Got Kirk, Joey Tron, Jovan Burts, Rod Zawacky. Jay, we're looking for. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. Racey, Briggs, Burts, Stuart, Tron, Zawacky, and then I will close this one out. All right, on the board tonight, 8 games from Major League Baseball. Kind of light today, right? NHL not until Saturday, NBA now until Thursday. WNBA, please. Why a day off on Monday? Give us so much action on Saturday and Sunday. But you know, Fever needs some time off. I think they had them play, 11 games in 20 days. And I think the Aces played, 6? I mean, it's been kind of funky scheduling there from the W. But anyway, let's get the show underway. Let's bring in David Racey. We'll catch him over at Pig Dogs Premium. Of course, he's a written contributor as well here on the site. You'll find out about his work here a little bit later. But we got a pick here from David, Major League Baseball, from this 8-game Monday card. So we'll get him here in just a second. David, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. This is our sad reality, really, for the next 2 months. I know we have a little bit of finals action, but just all baseball and WNBA pretty much until football season rolls around.
Yeah, that it's going to be. They're going to really stretch out this NBA finals and really stretch out the NHL finals. I think with 26th of June. Oh my God, we're almost going to hit July. We've never been this close to July.
I know, it's crazy. I was looking at the schedule, but we are under 100 days until the first regular season NFL game, so we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. And, of course, college football, everybody looking forward to what college preparation now has never been like, with all this transfer portal, coaching changes, all these little dates. When, even when you buy the player magazines, the preseason magazines, it's again, you're probably going to lose 20% of that roster anyway after you read it. So it's
You almost have to wait until the first game and just see who's on the team.
No doubt. And, of course, don't forget the quarterback battles. If someone thinks they're behind, they're going to look to maneuver. Or sometimes when those coaches when they play both quarterbacks, that's when it really throws you for a wrench, because they're trying to protect them from transferring. Prevent them from transferring. So they'll play the rotating quarterback game with you when you're trying to do your research. But I'm just looking forward to that, right? No doubt. Not a whole lot of coaching changes, rule changes like last year, but there will be a 2-minute warning in college football this year, which I thought was, we'll see how it works out. If you could play that into some sort of strategy, try to, a little NFL 2-minute warning there with college. But we go here to the, your screen is not deceiving you. The Nationals are actually favored in the game. They're going to be hosting the Mets. And I was going through some of my angles, and I was wondering if there's such a short list on the Well, that's their favorite in this game. That's why. But anyway, Nationals $1.11 here, the total of 8.
Yeah, both these teams come into this one not playing the best. The Nats have been pretty competitive. They're 27-31, but they haven't really been great over the last couple weeks. When you look at the Mets, they've been pretty much a disaster here over the last month or so. I thought they were going to pick up the pace. In their last series against Arizona, they won Thursday and Friday and had some high-scoring games. The offense looked okay, but they ended up losing games 3 and 4. This pitching staff for New York seems to be way off. When they're on, the bats are off. It's just the Mets have themselves in a big mess right now. They're on the road here, and I can't back the Mets. I think fading the Mets nowadays is a solid plan, especially when you look at Washington. Mackenzie Gore's on the mound, and if you haven't seen him pitch or watched him pitch, he's a very solid pitcher. You don't get much recognition in Washington, but he's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 7 straight starts. He's been fantastic for them. And you look at who he's faced. He's faced Atlanta in his last start, only allowed 1 earned run. Prior to that, it was Seattle, allowed 1. At Philadelphia, allowed 2. So he's played some really solid offensive teams, and he's done a really good job. And when you look at the Mets, they're starting Tyler McGill, who's also pitched pretty solid, but he's only had 3 starts this season, so he's had limited action. When I look at this, Gore at a decent price. I wish it was plus money, obviously, but it's not too far off. And I just think the Nationals are the play here. The Mets are a dumpster fire right now. They're really struggling. The pitching staff has allowed at least 5 runs in 9 of their last 12 games. And I just want to stay far away from the Mets right now, so I think taking a shot with Gore and the Nationals is the move here.
Yeah, a lot of noise, as you would expect. A lot of noise in New York right now. Fire sale, fire sale, fire sale. So all the players now are wondering where we're gonna have to pack up and move somewhere. I'm gonna get traded. So you know how that impacts players a lot when their residence could change, and that's what all the word is right now around New York is basically fire sale, and that's not something good there because the folks in New York, they demand change when things that can be a short term. Downfall, they still want change, so they're going to get it. It looks like they're going to get it. But interesting. We talked about Nationals as a home favorite. We don't see it very much actually over the past 2 seasons. 13 times they've been a home favorite, and you said you'd like to see them as a plus. Well, you don't mind seeing them as a minus because they've won 10 of their past 13 as a home favorite the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but yeah, they've been effective. And yeah, with the Mets, you're right. When guys start to get worried about being traded, it certainly does affect teams. And I'm just interested to see what they do because especially in that division, you have 2 really, really good teams with Philadelphia and Atlanta. But then you look at like the Marlins, who have played a little bit better recently, but they're not very good. And then the Nationals, the Mets aren't even the 3rd best team right now, and it's weird because they do have some pieces, and they have some valuable pieces they could get stuff for, but you're talking about a rebuild for a team that really hasn't been very competitive at all. So it's interesting to see what'll happen. But yeah, I know folks that root for the Mets are not happy right now. I've been listening to some of the Mets radio on like my Sirius XM, and it's funny to hear some of the callers come in.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, New York radio when you're losing, it's can be comedy. So we got David here in Nashville playing the $1.11 here tonight in about half an hour. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dodgement for tonight's action. 8 games on the board here from Major League Baseball. Of course, we're going to wait for NBA on Thursday, and we got 2 games in the next 7 days from the NBA. Hockey on Saturday. Heading into, what do you have going over at Pick Dodgement? We can see the great results of the NBA: 2,559 units of profit.
Yeah, it's been a really solid last really 3 or 4 months in the NBA. But yeah, nothing obviously until the NBA Finals start. Tonight I have 3 MLB plays. Went 4-1 in the MLB yesterday. I've had a solid month or so. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium. Check it out. Value's always in the long-term packages. Even just in baseball, I get quite a few plays out there each day, especially on the weekend. So head on over there, check it out, or pair me up with one of these other excellent cappers.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with David Racey over at Pig Dogs Premium. You can see the great results from David here in the NBA. Remember that 1-month pass will get you the remainder of the NBA Finals as well as the NHL Finals, all the baseball here for the 30 days. The promo code PICKIT checkout will save you that 15% off. There's also multi-capper promotions available, so go ahead and take advantage of that and use that promo code to get signed up if you would. All right, David, it's always great having you on the show. Hear that great success. We'll catch up with you again here on the show next week. But let everybody know where we can find your written work over at Pick Dogs on the sites.
Yeah, so you head on over to pickdogs.com or sportschatplace.com. Click on the free pick tab right at the top of the page. Click on whatever sports you're looking for, and you can get a free pick, free trends, all that good stuff for really just about every game, including the WNBA. So it's a great source of information, either from myself or one of the other writers. So head on over to the sites, check it out, and get a free pick out of it.
That's right, guys. Check it out over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with David Racey, and of course, get his written work over at the sites. All right, David, have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, sounds good, Tony. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You as well. David Racey here on the Drive-Thru. I will continue here on the Drive-Thru, guys. We are about ready to get to the chat pick of the day. It's going to be the Reds and the Rockies. So we're going to go ahead and get this ready for you here. It looks like the Reds are going to be minus 108 favorites in this game, and the Reds will be letter A. The Rockies will be letter B. They're going to be minus 102 on the take back. This game is not covered on the show today, so we let the chat go out there and give us the pick on this one. The chat has been very good here on the chat pick of the day. The total today in this game is going to be 11. 11 will be the total in the Reds and Rockies, so it'll be 11. So if you like the over, it would be C. If you like the under, it would be D. That is the chat pick of the day. We'll bring it up right now. Chat pick of the day, Rockies and the Reds. Reds minus 108 A. Rockies B. Over 11 C. Under 11 D. That is our chat pick of the day here. Now let me go ahead and make sure I have the correct one side in that one, and I do. So they're usually the one shaded in green is mine. So keep these picks coming in, guys, and we'll recap at the end of the show. First two coming in will be on the Rockies. So the Rockies getting the early support, and I can't blame that pick. That's another one coming in with the Rockies. So far, 3 Rocky sides as we begin chat pick of the day. All right, let's continue here. Another Rocky. So far, 4 on the Rocky side. All right, Jovan Burts is up next. Catch him over at Pick Dodgement. We'll bring him in right now. Ready to roll here with more baseball coverage. We are going to get an NBA play here as well today on a player prop, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and bring him in right now. It's going to be Jovan Burts here in just a second. Oh, I thought so. Maybe not. Let's see. Let me find him here on my board here. There we go. Jovan, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How are you, man?
Everything's great. All right, here we go tonight. Orioles and Blue Jays division battle here from the AL East. Seems like the AL East play each other so much here in the first half of the year. Orioles $8, totals at 7.5.
Yeah, and I'm on the Toronto Blue Jays. First 5 on the run line. That's 0.5. And it's that plus money. There's a lot of value with that, for them to get the job done at the end of 5 innings. And, it's just one of those situations where, you're dealing with, basically the Toronto Blue Jays' best pitcher, which is Kevin Gausman. He's righted the ship after some early season struggles. His last 3 starts, he's given up 3 runs, 1 run, and then another, 1 run. All of those games, he went 6 full innings. That's just something to keep in mind, and he's been in good form recently. And Mitch might not like him, and I'm neutral on him. He hasn't given me a bad beat or anything like that over the years. So it's just one of those things where they're catching the Orioles team who had a lead and gave it up late. And they got Grayson Rodriguez going, and Grayson Rodriguez, while he's okay, he can be had. And against Toronto, he's 0-1 with a 4.32 ERA. So, the Blue Jays, they're last place team right now, but it's not like they're they're one of the worst teams in baseball. They have talent on the team. Vlad Guerrero, he's moving to third base so they can get more production out of the lineup. That's a plus. So, look. I see the value there. I see that plus money, and I think that that thing is cash today or tonight.
All right, so Blue Jays here going to lay the half run here and get plus 114 here on the first 5. That's the play here for Jovan. Just keeping the bullpens out of it. You figure a pitcher like Gausman will at least get you the 5 innings, and of course when you look at the Toronto bullpen at home, an ERA over 5, so you can kind of understand in a competitively lined game like this one, why you want to keep the bullpens out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's one of the things where I don't want to go full game with these guys. Not on a single play. I'd rather just deal with them, on the first 5 bases with their best, starter going on the mound, basically. And on the other side, you got, like I said, you got Rodriguez. While he has some stuff with him, some strikeout stuff, some swing and miss stuff, is, he'll give it up. That's for damn sure. And he hasn't had the best, string success against Toronto. So that's what's playing into it for me. And like I said, with Vlad Guerrero moving to third and trying to get some production out of this lineup, hopefully it does the trick for these guys, because they, years past, you could rely on Toronto, regardless of what they were doing in their pitching staff. You could rely on those bats, and this year it hasn't been the case. So they're looking to change their fortunes in that one.
Yeah, Bichette, a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them trying to get. Yeah, they got to get their bats going. That's been a real disappointment this year for the Blue Jays. Jovan on the Blue Jays' first 5 run line, as you can see, we're getting plus dollars. And now, of course, Jovan here in the Boston area, a lot of excitement there. Of course, not for the Red Sox, definitely not for the Patriots. Sadly, not for the Bruins, but the C's, the Celtics, are back in the NBA Finals. And Jovan, we're looking at a minus 210 price here against the Dallas Mavericks. If you gave any thoughts here to a series. Obviously, 210 is big. Maybe you look at total games. Anything in this catch your attention in this series between the Celtics and the Mavericks? Because we won't be talking to you till Friday, and then we'll be done with Game 1 by then.
Yeah, and just a point of reference, not just the area in the city. So I got my post on this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm within the city limits. So no, but anyway, yeah. So I haven't really looked at too many props. I do have a series script, if you would say that, of how I think this is gonna go. But as far as like props or anything, I really don't. I will say this, Luka's gonna go off. He's gonna have his obligatory, triple double type of game, 30 plus. I think he's gonna have that. So if you want to do the yes on the triple double, I don't know what it pays, but that's probably a safe bet. Even though it takes a lot, to get a triple double, but he's gonna have the ball in his hands. He's the ball dominant player. So that's one. I think Jason Tatum's in for a good game because his 2 games against the Mavs, 30 plus, 39 and 37, I believe, in those games. So I think the stars come out to play in this first game. That's for damn sure.
I'm gonna put the stars here, and of course, I'll ask Jovan here. And boy, I don't know about this price here. Celtics here laying 2.5 games. Of course, Celtics are 217 favorites. So this means if the Celtics win 4-1 or 4-0, it's plus 190. And that's laying 2.5 games. If the Celtics here, even money here, if the Celtics win minus 1.5. So there's 2 options you have. The Celtics win in 6 or 7, the return is plus 190. If the Celtics win in in 4, 5, or 6 games, the return here is even money. Obviously you're leaning towards the Celtics in this series?
I'm a Celtics fan, so
yeah.
take the better side out of me, and just just leave it as a fan. Absolutely, but the better side, I don't know. I'm not to do anything with it.
I guess they might have cut. I think when he went away from the fan side, went to the better side, they cut his Wi-Fi. That's how hardcore they are in Boston.
Yeah, hey.
There you go. We'll see if we get the Jovan.
The employee, what I'm saying? So, but yeah, they're priced out as far as betting them for the series, so I can't go that route. Really. In order for me to bet the Celtics on the series, they're gonna have to go down 0-1.
Yeah.
At least, you know what I mean? And then it'll drive the price down. But that's just the end. That's just a way of looking at things. See how the series goes, see what happens in Game 1, and then if you could pull that trigger, if you still think the Celtics could win if they do lose Game 1, then do that. If you still think the Celtics are the right side, but yeah, as far as what I think's gonna happen as far as the better goes, I'm taking it game by game.
Game by game, okay, game by game. So game one, again, this will be over by Thursday night. Game 1 has Celtics 6.5, the total 214.5 in Game 1. Money line on the Mavericks plus 190 if you want the dog money line.
Yeah, it was that 6, for the opener. Then, that first set of money, that sharp money, was in on the Celtics and moved it to a half, and it's been radio silence ever since. It's gonna be interesting to see how these 2 teams start off. So I would say, looking at the first quarters, because I tend to look at the first quarters in the especially in this postseason. I think the Celtics come alive in the first quarter. Make a statement, and I say that because there's a lot of chatter about how good Dallas is, how good the tandem is. Stan Van Gundy, was saying it throughout the whole series in the Western Conference Finals, how they're the best backcourt that there's ever been. and all that. So there's a lot of love for the Dallas Mavericks, and the Boston Celtics, they hear that, So first quarter, I think they come out guns blazing, and they can have I believe they'll have a substantial lead in the first quarter.
All right, there you go. Jovan has been great on these first quarters. If you catch him here on the drive-through, catch him on the weekend shows. He's been giving out a lot of those first quarter plays. So then we got a little taste there from the game one in this series between Dallas and Boston. Of course, Jovan there, right in the city, right in Boston. So we'll see a lot of red, green flags everywhere. You'll see a lot of Boston Celtics jersey at the Boston Red Sox game. There's going to be all Celtics here for the next 3 weeks in the Boston area, as the Celtics have made the finals. And unfortunately, the Lakers weren't there, because it would have been great to see another Boston-LA series.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing better than Lakers Celtics. But one more thing I will say about Boston making a statement, at least coming out the gate in the first quarter. It's not just the national media, pushing the Dallas Mavericks narrative. It's the hatred within the city. Not the hatred, but
yeah.
that's the wrong choice of words, but the pundits, the radio, the radio, not the fans, the radio talking heads, pushing a certain narrative, saying the Celtics are too soft. They've had an easy road. Tatum has never done it. Brown hasn't done it. Is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, are they, at each other's, not saying at each other's necks, but is there some sort of animosity? They just don't have anything to talk about, really, because this team's been.
They're trying to bait. They're just trying to bait the people to call. That's really what it is.
Right. Exactly. And they're doing a damn good job at it. You know what I mean? So, but until the Celtics actually win the title, win Banner 18, it's gonna be like this.
Yeah.
And even afterwards, it's gonna be like this, because this is Boston, and one thing about Bostonians, we're never happy.
Oh, the way they turned on Belichick. I mean, there's some very famous. I saw some of that, especially during Super Bowl week. There's some very clips from the Boston radio crew just going off on Belichick. I mean, it's some interesting. You got a good idea what the Boston radio market was if you go back and watch some of those Super Bowl clips of the Boston crew that were out there just hammering Belichick.
It doesn't matter whether championships, no championships, because prior to 2001. There wasn't many championships around here, So there were a lot of radio talking heads who made a living, on the misery of Boston sports in general, of that whole landscape, especially with the Red Sox not winning in 86 years and and all that. So pick a sport, it's always going to be some sort of misery loves company type of talking points with these guys.
All right, there you go, Jovan, from Boston, right in the Boston city limits here. We got the Blue Jays here laying the half run plus 114, first 5 against the Orioles. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Print for tonight's action. Of course, baseball on the board tonight, 8-game card. Fortunately, we didn't have any day games, so kept it at 8. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a 5-pack going to MLB. Say what you want about the MLB. A lot of people they shy away from it, but it's always a lot of action, day in and day out. So some days are better than others as far as pitcher matchups, and I think, it's not just the pitcher match because it's full 9, and you got to deal with managerial decisions and and all that, and the managers, their decisions turning winners into losers or losers into winners, or relievers blowing it up, and managers leaving guys in the ball game just to get blown up, but it all starts with pitcher matchups, and I think there's some pitcher matchups that's going to turn to success in this one. I have 6 plays overall, but I have a 5-pack. I have my laser show play, my one standalone single bet if you want that, so check me out with certain long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. Or maximum one of the other handicaps for the 2-for-1 promotional. Can't go wrong here. Sports Chat plays the Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed with Jovan Burts over at Pick Dog Pin. Long-term pass. Remember that 7-day pass gets the first 2 days in the NBA Finals and all the baseball for the week. Get on board. Promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. Right, Jovan, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening there. We'll catch up with you again on Friday, but a lot going on over at Pick Dogs. We'll catch you on the weekend show, but we also catch your video shorts on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. The video series saw the pop and got another one out today, and got off that cold streak. I hit one on Friday, so looking to you know, get that rolling again. Get them two teams popping.
Absolutely, guys. Check them out. Like, subscribe. Jovan drops those shorts. Get them right away. All right, Jovan, have a great night. Catch up with you next on Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win, and see you on Friday.
On Friday, Jovan Burts here on the Drive To. Let's continue on, guys, here on the show. Get back to chat. Pick of the day tonight. It's Reds and Rockies. Reds letter A, Rockies B, C over D under 11. 11 is a total. It's already June, so we're going to see the totals go up here. Weather warming up. So far, 5 on the Rockies, 3 on the Reds. We got another Rockies just come in right now, so 6-3 right now. Chat pick of the day. Keep these picks coming in. 2 overs, by the way. We do have 2 over the totals coming in here. We do have another Reds coming in, so 5-4 is tightening up. 6-4 now, tightening up here. Chat pick chat again coming through on Friday. Keep these winners coming in, guys. We got an under coming in, first under of our show. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, we'll bring in Kirk Stuart. I believe he said he was from the Boston area, where he grew up there. Let's bring him in right now. Catch him over at pick.pim. We're going to get some NBA coverage in here right now from Kirk. Had to get it in from Jovan because he's right there in the city. Kirk, what's happening? You're on mute there, Kirk. Let's see if it's sometimes signing out. If you're not unmuted, then sign out, sign back in. Sometimes that fixes the problem. Yeah, still no sound. So just maybe if everything's right on your end, then sign out, sign back in. Maybe that would correct the issue. That usually corrects the issue. So he's going to sound back in. Yeah, Kirk's going to take a look here at NBA tonight, and we're going to be not looking at the game, but he'll be looking at a player prop in this Mavericks-Celtics game. As we said here, Game 1, we're seeing the Celtics favorite here, 6.5. Let's see, we got him back in. Kirk, you there?
Yep. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Usually fixes most of the time there. All right, here we go. I know, I want to clarify, you did say you're from the Boston area, right?
Yeah, I live right in downtown Boston pretty much, so 15 minutes from the Garden, so it's starting to get a little rowdy around here.
All right, so it's good. I can imagine, and unfortunately, like I said, it's going to be good. Great series. Mavericks and Celtics, we just got the card up here for Game 1 here. We're knowing Celtics favorite 6.5 total, 214 here. And I don't know. I think Siri here wants me to buy tickets for this game. I don't want to fly out to Boston on Thursday. But anyway, they were trying to sell me tickets, believe it or not. All right. I'm going to see how much they cost, the cheapest ticket to get in a second. But anyway, Celtics 6.5 total, 214. But you're going to be looking here at this a little differently.
Yeah, the cheapest ticket's actually $600 before fees right now. It's incredible. Right. I think I'll be doing that. But, yeah, looking at this series a little bit differently, as you and Jovan were talking, there's not really too much value here in the Celtics to win it all at minus 200 or whatever you can find it at. There's not enough there. If you really want to go looking for something on long term in this series, I think you got to go Jason Tatum Finals MVP at minus 120. I don't see there any other way the Celtics win this without Jason Tatum becoming the MVP of the finals. Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference Finals. Jason Tatum did not look too happy about that. Jason Tatum actually averaged 30 in Conference Finals, which were better number than Brown's, but for Brown's standards, they were a lot better than Jason Tatum's standards. Tatum's held to a higher standard. I think that trophy in the Eastern Conference Finals MVP could have gone either way. So I see the Celtics winning this one. I think Tatum, finally, all the haters are quieted and everything. Give me Tatum Finals MVP at minus 120 as the Celtics win this one as well.
All right, we got Kirk. Obviously, the MVP is going to go to the winning side. No doubt about that. So you know where Kirk's side is. Instead of laying the 215, what did we say? It was 215, I believe it was. Just go ahead and just play, because if they win, it pretty much will be Jason Tatum's show, right? He'll be the Finals MVP.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, he scored 29 plus in his last 4 games against the Mavs. The one he scored 29 and he had a triple double. They've won their last 4 against the men. They really want to win this championship. It's got to be led by Jason Tatum.
Yep, because you've been in the Boston area. Of course, your perspective here on the coaching, because it just seems that the Boston coach just seems to get piled on every time there's a loss. It seems he's to be the one. He's not the right guy for the job. It just seems to me from the West Coast perspective.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, if they don't win it, Missoula's probably out, in all honesty. I don't know who they'll bring up next. Maybe it'll be back to Brad Stevens. Who knows? But I think Missoula's done a pretty good job. I know there's a lot of speculation on whether you should call timeouts more in the late game situation. That's one thing I don't like too much about Missoula. But all in all, he's done a good job. He's gotten the guys to where they need to be, and now it's up to the guys to really show up.
Points leader in the series. Total points. Who will have the most points scored in the series? Luka is favorite 205. Jason number 2 in the betting plus 280. Then it's Kyrie plus 1,000. Jalen plus 1,300.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Luka here. Yeah. Luka's, I don't know if I want to say he's the best player in the series. I really think the best player in the series will win the finals, and then we can really say player among those two. But Luka led the league in scoring this year. I mean, he's hit some incredible shots in the playoffs, and with how he's been playing, it's got to be Luka. I think a more interesting one is 3 points leader. I think that one, Luka is the favorite, but there's a lot of sleepers. I mean, Al Horford had a streak where he hit 13 threes in 2 games. PJ Washington at 20 in 3 games. I mean, I don't know who I'm going with that, but if you have some extra money to throw around, there's a lot of wild cards in that one. Porzingis comes back. He could hit 5 in a game. Who knows?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, threes leader, Tatum here at $5. Derek White, $250. Kyrie plus 700. Interesting to note here in this spotlight what Kyrie will do. What do you see? Obviously, he didn't. He wasn't. We had some good games in the last series, but wasn't really on the top of the leaderboard in some of the games.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is probably pretty personal for Kyrie coming back to Boston for Game 1. I think Kyrie will go off in Game 1 or 2. It's just from the Celtics' perspectives. Luka and Kyrie are going to have their games. Can you limit the role players? Can you not have P.J. Washington, Derek Jones Jr., and those guys score 10, 15 points? I think that's how they attack this, but, yeah, I think Kyrie will definitely get his in this series.
The rebound leader, Jason Tatum, favorite $1.50. Luka plus 180. Looking for long shots, Derek Lively, $14. Horford plus 3,000. Gafford plus 2,500.
Yeah, the only one I would really trust in a long shot to even think about considering is Lively. I mean, Luka, I think, had 3 triple-doubles in the conference finals, or 2 or 3, so he's gotten 10. Tatum averaged 10.3 in the conference finals. Lively did have a game with 15 rebounds. With him and Gafford splitting time, I don't know if he gets enough minutes to really be in consideration for this, but, I mean, he's been their spark off the bench. Maybe he gets more minutes in this series. But, yeah, I'd throw a little bit maybe on Lively, but that's about it in this one.
These are competitive lines here for the series points per game average. So Luka, points per game average in the finals, 30.8 points is his number. Over minus 110, under minus 120.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's a lot.
I want to say under simply because of how versatile the Celtics are defensively. They have Holiday, White, Brown. I mean, they'll switch those guys onto him, and they're all pretty good defenders. No one's going to stop Luka, but, I mean, you saw with Lou Dort on OKC how they played Luka. I think he averaged like 25 in that series. He was all up in him 4 feet of the court. Celtics probably do something similar, and they have the ability to switch unlike the Wolves did. And, I mean, no one on that team could really stop Luka.
No, of course, Jaylen Brown here, the over-under in this number is minus 115 both sides. So Jason Tatum's number, point per game average in the finals, 27.2 points.
I got to take the over. I mean, if I'm saying he's going to be finals MVP, I think he's got to go over that mark. So, I mean, he's gotten 29-plus in his last 4 against the Mavs, and I think they go as far as Tatum goes. They won't be able to get it done if they go as far as Brown goes in this series.
PJ minus 115 both sides, minus is 11.8 points.
I got to take the under. I really think that they're going to try to take away the role players in this one. Kyrie, Luka get theirs. And you see the games where it was just them in most of the games they lost, but it was the games where PJ Washington had the 23s in 3 games, and where Derek Jones Jr. had 17. You just can't have those outbursts. I think PJ Washington probably has a couple games where he drops 15, but I don't think he gets the average of 11.
There you go. We got some props there from Kirk in this Mavericks Celtics series. We'll talk about his video series. You can see he's very sharp here. We didn't prep for this. I was just throwing him out at him. You can tell he knows his stuff. All right. Tatum Finals MVP -120 from Kirk. All right. Let's take a look over at Pick Dog Cream for tonight's action. Just 8 on the board from Major League Baseball. Of course, heading into the NBA Finals. Game 1 and 2 will be this week on a 7-day pass. So with the NHL, WNBA returns again tomorrow. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, I got a 3-pack tonight on a small MLB slate. And yeah, I mean, there's not really too much going on. I'm not doing too many plays tonight. So I got a 3-pack if you're interested in that. I've been profitable in 4 of the last 5 days in the MLB. I started off hot, had a really big slump, and now I'm about even for the year. So make sure to hop on that while I'm still hot. And yeah, I mean, come Thursday, I'll have probably a 3-pack for the NBA Finals. As you can see, I love the props, so I'll definitely have some props for Game 1. And WNBA, I'm up on the year. I'll have some of those tomorrow as well. So a little bit of something as the start of summer heats up.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Kirk Stuart over at Pick Dog. Remember that 7-day pass will get you all through Sunday. We got a couple NBA, a couple NHL finals there in that period of time, as well as all of Kirk's MLB and WNBA for the 7 days. And what's happening in Euro or domestic soccer this week?
Yeah, Euros and domestic, there's really nothing going on. Euros start next Friday, so the 14th, I think. Yeah, the 14th. So Champions League ended, and I'm just focusing on getting those plays right for the Euro. So I have my Euro monthly package up for sale already. So if you want a long-term monthly package for soccer for the summer, it has all of that. So make sure to check that out if you like soccer.
Yeah, if you like soccer, you love the European Championship. A lot of drama in that league for that series there. So keep an eye there with Kirk. All right, Kirk, great to have you on the show. We'll talk with you again a few days. And also, too, we can catch your video series over at Pick Dogs as well.
Yeah, so Goran and I will be doing the daily soccer picks when Euro starts kicking off. I've also started MLB over-unders, where I give away my best 3 over-unders on the MLB slate. We're 8-3-1 to start the year, so doing pretty well on that. Make sure to check that out. And yeah, thanks for having me, Tony, and I'll see you Friday.
All right, Kirk Stuart here on the Drive. We'll talk to you on Friday. All right, let's continue here on the show, guys. Let's get back here to the chat pick of the day. You can see got very sharp Cappas here going through these props and without prep. Guys are right off the top of his head. Here we go. Chat pick of the day, Reds and Rockies. If you like the Reds, letter A. B for the Rockies, C over D under. Look at that 11. Yeah, it's that time of the year. It's warming up. Right now it is close. We've got the Rockies with 6, 4 on the Red sides, 3 over, 1 under. It's chat pick of the day. Keep the picks coming in. We'll track it throughout the day and announce who the winner is. Also, we will also recap the plays at the end of the day from all the cappers. If you happen to miss a pick, get 2 more, 1 more in for the Reds, 1 more. April Montgomery coming in here for the Rockies. So we're 7. It is now 7-5 in favor of the Rockies on chat pick of the day. All right, let's continue on the show. Let's bring him in. Joey Tron, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We're getting some baseball coverage from Joey here in just a second. I think we'll be ready to roll here. We'll get him here on the board. Let's see what we got here from Joey. Joey Tron, what's going on?
Hey, Tony, how we doing?
Doing great. All right, here we go. This one's competitive here tonight. We've got some competitive lines tonight in baseball. Tigers and Rangers going head-to-head here. Tigers on the road to $1.06. We see the total has come down now from a half down to 7.
Yeah, so I really like the Tigers in this matchup. Tiger is going with Scooble to the hill, and he's been doing phenomenal this season. He's 7-1 with a 2.01 ERA and a .82 WHIP. He's 3-1 his last 4 starts, and he's allowed no more than 2 earned runs in each of those wins that he's picked up. Again, he's been phenomenal this season, and I really like to back consistent pitchers, and Scoobball's been as consistent as it's been this season. Rangers are sending Nathan Eovaldi to the hill, and he's been somewhat streaky. He's 2-2 and owns a 2.84 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP. He's 1-2 his last 5 starts, and he's allowed 11 earned runs, and he's walked 15 batters. The biggest issue I have with him, honestly, is those walks. Giving free base runners to the Tigers right now could really be problematic. They're averaging 6 runs per game over their last 7, and I really like their bats to get to Eovaldi tonight. Both bullpens have been pretty taxed the last 3 games, and I'm putting my money with Screwball and the hot bats with the Tigers.
Screwball here with the hot bats with the Tigers here, minus 107 here against the Rangers team. A Ranger team that really had their struggles at the plate and hitting left-handed starters this year. It's just 217 this year, so they've had their struggles. Tigers, if these bats can keep it going here, that has always been the weakness over the past few seasons.
Yeah, no doubt. And honestly, I like to back teams when they're getting hot, and Tigers are hot right now. Like I said, 6.1 runs per game over their last 7. They just dropped 14 against Toronto. They had 10 against Pittsburgh. There's no reason why they can't put up 5 or 6 against Texas tonight.
All right, so we talked to some locals here about the Celtics and the Mavs, so we can talk to somebody from the Midwest without any bias here. What are your thoughts on this NBA Finals? Anything catch your attention on the
All right, so I'm a huge Kyrie Irving fan, and I would love to see him win a ring in Boston. So I'm backing the Mavs here.
There you go, back in the Mavs.
I want to see a little scrape on the Celtics logo again, a trophy in his hand.
Oh my goodness! Oh. We'll see it. So keep an eye on some of the Kyrie Irving props. Will you go as far as MVP?
Honestly, there's a lot of value on it, in my personal opinion. And if they're going to win, it's going to come down to him or Luka. So at the end of the day, one of those two, if you put your money there, Mavericks win, are coming out on top.
Yeah, and of course Kyrie Irving here, players prop. We have the MVP, the series leader there. We'll look at this finals. We got final player props here. What do we got here? There's just so much on this board. It's hard to see, but yeah, there'll be obviously some value here on that MVP. Although if it's voted in, I don't think some of these U.S. books are going to put them in there. So we'll see. Just got to keep an eye on some of these books here. I was trying to see what the line was there because for Kyrie, but it's funny because I would think, the media votes for this, right? That's something maybe better off if you look at points, assists, or rebounds. Because although he could turn some heads here based on his play on the court. That does. I've seen that happen where they just forget about his past and hey, this is the way he's played today. He's earned it.
And honestly, on and off the court, if you look at him at interviews, he's really all about the team. He really enjoys playing with Dallas. He doesn't seem like he's miserable there like he was out in Brooklyn. He really enjoys this team, and I really think Dallas has changed him.
And it's funny because I remember when this happened, I was talking to Jay about it, and I said, I think this might be the best thing for him to work with Cuban because Cuban is a hands-on, caring owner. And sometimes we think of these owners just sitting up in their luxury box, and when you're on the sales floor, you're on the floor. I call it sales floor because you could apply to any type of business. When you're the head of a company, you're out there with the employees. It's a little different. You create I think a more caring culture when you're out there with the players.
Oh, no doubt. Mark Cuban's right there, right on the floor next to them, hyping them up and showing that he really cares. And again, such a different outlook for Kyrie Irving from in the past where he was with Cleveland or at Brooklyn.
Yeah. Absolutely, no doubt about that. Yep, a lot of people agree. The new man, yeah, it is. I mean, if you get in the right spot with the right ownership, and then definitely makes a difference here. Joey here on the Tigers minus 107 tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Joey, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Cream for tonight's action. Of course, 8 games on the board from Major League Baseball. Heading into a pretty big week of NHL and NBA Finals. WNBA returns tomorrow. We can see Joey enjoying a great baseball year for a short period of time here on the site. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I just got one play tonight. It's my AL East game of the week. First pitch is about 7:07, 7:10 tonight. So if you want some action, check it out. We're doing pretty hot right now in MLB.
That's right, guys. Got up Joey trying over at Pick Dogs Premium. Good unit results here in baseball. Remember that good time to get that long-term pass, that 7-day pass. They'll cover the first 2 games of the NBA and NHL Finals, all the baseball. If he's in action in WNBA in there as well. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, Joey, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Thank you, Tony. You have a good one.
You as well. Joey Tron here on the Drive To. Let's continue here on the show. Guys, if you ever missed a pick, we always recap. Stay tuned for that. Continue on chat pick of the day. It is Reds and Rockies is our chat pick today. And if you like the Reds, it's letter A. B for the Rockies. C for the over 11. D under 11 chat pick of the day. Right now it's 7 on the Rocky side, 5 on the Reds, 3 on the over, 1 on the under. Keep them coming in. All right, let's continue here on the drive through. I think Rod put in that Kyrie Irving is 22-1 in some spots to be the MVP. And April Montgomery got that the other day for Kyrie. So yeah, some folks are believing that in Kyrie. That was interesting. All right, up next, Rod Zawacky. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, Rod's been very good to us here on the drive-thru with his picks as well as with his bonus plays. We get a day off from the WNBA today, and he's very active there in the WNBA. So we have it available on our picks premium picks menu. Rod, how's it going?
Going good, Tony. Excited, jacked.
Yeah.
Wow, it's the 8th Cup appearance for the Edmonton Oilers, and I've been lucky enough to be around to see all 8 of those Cup appearances with the Edmonton Oilers. I can probably name them all off, and I know we've won 5, so we've won 5. We've lost a couple. So that's 7. Here comes the 8th in this one.
Right, it says the 8th is excited for it here. Of course, we'll have some discussion here. We're going to get to the game. We're hitting the witching hour, so we're going to get to the baseball game first, and then we'll talk about the hockey game a little bit, or the series in the second part of the segment. We're going to get to Rod's game here. We're going to be looking here at this Houston game tonight, and we'll get to it here in just a second. The Astros will be in action tonight here against our. Maybe I went a little too far here. Let's get it there. Let me see here. I've got my facts straight. Houston and St. Louis head-to-head here. Astros $1.77 with a total of 8.
Yeah, and you look at this game here. Who's getting the start for the Cards in this one? And you got Kyle Gibson getting the start for the Cardinals in this game. His pitch not too bad. 3-2 with a 2 ERA over his last 5 starts. Justin Verlander getting the start for Houston in this one. He's 2-3 with a 2.6 ERA over his last 5 starts. Definitely like what I've seen from him over his last couple starts, where he's starting to turn things up and starting to look like the Verlander, mowing down guys, striking them out. 9 strikeouts over his last couple, so he's definitely starting to pick it up, as we say there. And you look at the numbers head-to-head between these two teams with these guys on the mound. You look Verlander versus St. Louis, and there's a few, not very many guys on the St. Louis Cardinals team that has seen Verlander. Arenado's seen Verlander, but he's seen him 10 at bats. He's got 1 home run, couple RBIs, hitting 300 versus Verlander. Other than that, there's Carpenter's seen him 3 at bats, still no hits off him. Crawford 4 at bats, no hits off him. Goldschmidt against Verlander. You've seen him 11 at bats, and he's only got 1 RBI. He's batting 182 versus Verlander. Well, you look at the other side of things, Gibson against a bunch of these Astros, and there's been some Astros that have definitely seen Kyle Gibson. You look at Breu, he's seen him 42 at bats versus Gibson, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, hitting 262. Altuve's seen him 37 at bats. He's got a couple RBIs, bashing 270 against Gibson. You look, Alvarez, Bregman, Cortini. All these guys have seen Gibson, and they've all got hits and all hitting pretty good. You look at the top 7 guys here. They're Alvarez is hitting 250. Bregman's bashing 300. Caratini's bashing 333. Diaz hit 500. Dubon hit 500. You can go down to Tucker. He's seen him 17 times, bashing 294. I think this Astros team gets to Gibson early in this one, and you look the way they've been hitting, and the bats have been rolling. Both teams have been solid hitting right-handed pitching over the last 10, but the Astros at home is where they've definitely hit right-handed pitching very well, hitting 264 at home, while the Cardinals 239 against right-handed pitching on the road. I think this is one of those spots where you look at the Cardinals when they're a dog at this price between plus 140 and plus 170. They're 0-3. Got to go with the Astros here. I'm going to take them on the run line. I think they easily beat up on the Cardinals, who might be a little tired after playing Sunday night football or Sunday night MLB action as well. They did get the win against the Phillies, but now you got to come in and face the Astros. I think the Astros get them here.
All right, Rod here on the Astros. We'll hit in the witching hour, so let's get to Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Still 6 games on the board here from Major League Baseball. Heading to a nice week of action for the next 7 days. We'll have 2 NBA and 2 NHL Finals games played. WNBA back tomorrow. Rod enjoying a really great work over the past 7 days. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
For me, quiet night I have 2 plays going. I got one for long-term subscribers and one play, my $19 MLB home run. Crushed my home run yesterday, looking to hit back-to-back jacks on it. So scoop that up or looking to start the week strong. So join me. Grab a week pass. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and let's continue to have ourselves a good week this week as well.
That's right, guys. Got both Rod Zawacky. Yeah, that 7-day pass, perfect way to go now. We got NBA Finals. Or what 30-day pass gets you the entire NBA, NHL Finals, as well as all of Rod's MLB, WNBA in there as well. Pick promo code, save that 15% off. Yeah, the Cardinals and Astros here. Puts a pretty big line here in this one. But Rod's going here with the run line in this spot to see the Cardinals have had some of their issues here, hitting just 232 on the road.
Yeah, big struggling on the road here for the Cards, and I think Verlander. You've seen Verlander crank it up and bonus play for everybody. I like Verlander over 6.5 strikeouts. He's hit that 3 out of his last 4 starts, and at a nice plus 125. I think Verlander can mow down some Cardinals who might be a little tired after that Sunday night versus the Phillies. Got to go with the Astros here. Take them on the run line. You look forward to the last 5 meetings head-to-head have covered this run line as well versus the Cardinals. So Astros bats get going. And it starts off with Hayden Gibson. Gibson's been solid this season, but we know what Gibson's done. A little regression. He's a 4 ERA pitcher at best.
Yeah, he's had his struggles of late, no doubt about that. All right, Ron, we know we look at the series prices here between Florida and Edmonton. Florida is now the $1.30 favorite to take back on Edmonton plus 110.
It's plus 110, right? You're going to give me the dog? Well, you know where I'm going with that. I'm taking the Oilers to win the series. It's going to be close. We've seen, don't let those head-to-head numbers fool you this season. We've seen Florida win both meetings this season head-to-head. But in those games, who was starting in goal? Picard got the start in goal for the Oilers in both of the meetings this season that Panthers won. You look at the last 2 meetings that Skinner has faced the Florida Panthers. Wins for the Edmonton Oilers. Skinner sports a 2-0 goals against average versus these Florida Panthers. So I like it. I think Skinner, as we've seen, he stepped up in that Dallas series. And Skinner in the big games, when it's comes down to it, in games 5, 6, and 7s, he's Mr. Perfect with a sub 2 goals against average in these playoffs as well. The Oilers, that penalty kill, if you can't score on the power play on special teams, they've killed off 26 straight over the last 10 games. It'll be tough for the Florida Panthers to score goals in this series. Another part that I looked at deeply is you look at the Rangers series. Florida gave up 14 power play chances to those Rangers, and that Rangers in those first few games were 0-4 on the power play. They just couldn't get their power play going. You do that against the Oilers, give the Oilers 14 power plays in 6 games, and you'll see what happens. We'll be hoisting the cup.
Hoisting the cup.
I think we hoist the cup either way. Give me the Oilers in 6.
Oilers in 6. Oilers in 6 returns plus 475. Oilers in 7 plus 550. Oilers here in 5 plus 750. Oilers sweep plus 1,300.
I think it's just like the Dallas series. I think we got a tie heading back to Florida after the first 4, where it's 2-2, heading back to Florida for that big crucial game 5. And I think the Oilers win it and then come back home and win it in 6. And then who wins it? Who is the Conn Smythe? I think the Conn Smythe comes down to who busts the record. You got to look. You look Bouchard. He's been tops defenseman over the first 18 games of these playoffs for the Oilers, where he's scored, 28 points in those 18 games. Not many guys above that have done that in the playoffs. Only one name that comes to mind, and it's Paul Coffey. The last defensive player to score those kind of numbers was Cale Makar back in 2022, where they hoisted the Stanley Cup in that one. And guess who's behind the bench? Paul Coffey is behind the bench. And I think this is the reason why Bouchard is his numbers have shot up through the roof. He's taken him under his wing. Even look in the celebration of the Western Conference trophy. Coffey wasn't there celebrating. He was there, standing there, Mr. Firm, going, "Come on,
touched it.
We're not. The work isn't done yet.
Yeah, no one touched it.
The work isn't done yet. Yeah, no one touched it. The Oilers know the work isn't done yet. They have 1 goal, and they're almost 4 wins away from getting it. I remember
Bouchard plus 950.
Conn Smythe. Yeah, Bouchard plus 950. You got to give it a shot. McDavid's trying to bust the Gretzky record. If he does that, I think he hands down wins it. Gretzky's most assists. He's 6 assists off of busting Gretzky's records for the most assists in a playoff run. Is McDavid. So those are the 2 records. I think if Bouchard has a big series, he might sneak in and get that Conn Smythe. But if McDavid can step up his game like we've seen last night, definitely. If he busts a Gretzky record, I think you got to give it to Connor McDavid.
There you go. From Rod Zawacky, you got the bonus plays and some serious prices and some Conn Smythe awards. We'll be talking about this game throughout the week. It's about to wait till Saturday till game 1. That's how long we're gonna really stretch it up. Really stretch it out there, Rod. No doubt. All right. On the show pick tonight, it's the Astros run line. All right, Rod. Let everybody know about we know what's going on over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let everybody know about your video series.
Yeah, well, in the NHL, we're only got a few games left, but definitely make sure you're subscribed. That way you don't miss out on any of them hockey videos when they drop over at Pick Dogs YouTube. Definitely been a long season. Appreciate everybody who's tuned into those videos and smashed the like button along the way. Even went against me on a couple plays. But hey, sometimes I can't win them all. Appreciate everybody who's commented and appreciate all the people that have supported me on them. First year of doing them hockey videos solo, so a lot of work, struggling on some of them, but definitely we'll improve that going forward. So appreciate everybody.
That's right, guys. Like, subscribe, and support Rod here with the videos. All right, Rod, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Definitely have yourself a good one, everybody. We got some CFL coming forward, too, so I'll give you some CFL futures in the next couple days. I got a couple plays I like that you got to put in early to get that big box. So
yeah.
Definitely have yourself a wonderful kickstart the week of winter. Let's get it, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow.
Rod Zawacky here on the drive to. Let's continue here, guys. Let's keep an eye on that chat pick of the day. We're going to close out soon. We got some time before it starts. Rockies and Reds. If you like the Reds, it's -108. Letter A. Rockies is B. Over C. Under D. Chat pick of the day. Right now, it's the Rockies with 7-5 on the side of the Reds. 3 over, 1 under. Chat pick a day. We're going to close it out in just a second here. All right, let's get to the recap, and then we'll get to my pick. You'll see it there on the recap anyway. So let's get to the recap. We had David on Nationals -111. Jovan Blue Jays first 5 run line lay the half run +114. Kirk was on Jason Tatum Finals MVP -120. Joey on the Tigers lane -107. Rod's on the Houston Astros run line lay the run and half +115 here against the in their game tonight against the Cardinals. I'm going to be Padres Angels under. The one I like the most out there is going to be with that Nationals play there from Nationals was the one I chose there as the best, the one I like the most. All right, Padres Angels. My pick is the under in this game. The Padres have really struggled hitting left-handed starters this year, hitting .230, but averaging just 2.5 runs per game, going under in 12-19 against left-handed starters. Their bullpen has been very effective on the road. The Angels over the past 7 games hitting just .207. The under behind Waldron 7-0 in his night games. He's that knuckleballer, so maybe at night trying to hit that knuckleball at night. It seems to me maybe a challenge here. So we'll go under 8.5 here with the Padres and the Angels. Guys over at Pick Dogs, people have a best bet up there. As well as my best bet is bundled in my 3-pack as well. Don't buy them both. Either buy one or the other, because my best bet's for sale standalone baseball, or it's also part of my 3-pack. So you make the choice there over at Pick Dogs. My long-term pass as well, 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. All right, we're going to close out the chat pick of the day here, guys. Let's keep an eye on where it is. We got another one. Rodas came in with this play. We got another play here from Angelo coming in. And right now it is, our chat pick of the day is going to be the Rockies. Rockies now coming in, and it's by a big margin. Now we got a lot of Rocky support at the close of the show. 10 on the Rockies, 5 on the Reds. The Rockies are the chat pick of the day. All right, guys, get your show pick in here, and we'll recap your show pick in just a second. That's going to do it for this edition of the Drive Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We'll go to our place for you in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show. We're live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Jay, Chris, and Mitch. Remember the video series, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. The betting tool show. This is roundtable discussion with professionals. Also, we got Jay's Jam Session NBA around the league NHL with Chris, individual video picks as well. Of course, the Cappers videos here as well from Rod, his A to Z NHL coverage. Also, we've got Kirk with his MLB totals, as well as his soccer picks there with Goran. Jovan, his short series, you want to check those out. Remember, David Racey, you can find his written work at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place there. Also, more video series here. Ron Romali with his MLB breakdown. We also have Big Al McBordy going all access. Costly with sharp trading plays. Dana Lane as he goes against the public. And, of course, contrarian plays here from the vacationing Brian Bittler. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, set notifications. So when these videos drop, you get them in real time. And Mills reminds me here as well, his video, his prop shop for Mills, and his UFC rundown. Check it all out. All right, let's get to the show picks for today, guys. Your show pick today, Ron Hahn likes Scooble. He likes his Tigers on the money line from Ron Hahn. Ron Hahn also Oilers in 6, likes that return there on that one. Stop geoengineering. Jason Tatum 30-plus points, minus 135 is what he says there. Let's see if we have any more coming in here, guys. Here. We're going to read off your show picks right now. Mets Nerfy, they're cashed by Rod. Show pick here from April would be David's pick on the Nats here coming in. Also, let's see here. Looks like Joey Tron did lock in that Kyrie Irving plus 20-1 MVP. Locked in there from Joey Tron. What else do we have? April also locked that in MVP for Kyrie Irving in this league. What else do we have here? Let's see here, guys. Astros first 5 from Senior Football. First 5 lay the half run here from Senior Football tonight. Let's see. Last call. It's a short card today. I understand it's a short card. Giants money line tonight from Blake. All right, we got them all in. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew for the night. Anyway, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.